You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. Of course, that is the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz, getting ready to fight Rampage Quentin Jackson. And like everybody else, I thought this fight should have happened a long-ass time ago. I can't believe you guys never actually got it put together, but now it's happening. How big is it for you personally in your professional career that this is Bellator's first pay-per-view card and you're the main event?
I think it's huge. I mean, it goes back being first main event in Las Vegas. But it's a century later. But against a companion, actually a friend that has been in my career since the beginning. Me and him have been training partners for such a long time. For the first 8 years of our careers, and now we're competing against each other. When I was fighting UFC and he came over to UFC from Pride, we stopped training with each other because we couldn't realize that maybe there would be a time that we would be fighting against each other. And we kind of had a bond, had a relationship, that thinking that if we were going to fight each other, it was going to be worth some big money. And, we'd make sure that, we're going to make something out of it and not really just throw away our friendship just for pennies.
Is it worth big money right now? Did Bellator open up the checkbook for you?
They actually did open up the checkbook, and not amongst just the checkbook, but it gave us an opportunity, not just in the fight career, but, I want to do some acting with my clothing company, Punishment Athletics, getting me an acting coach, some professional wrestling stuff. Just so many different avenues that give me the opportunity. Won't promise me anything, but give me an opportunity so, I could have a chance to be successful in other realms.
What do you want to do when you officially retire from MMA? Like when you're done fighting, you've had enough, what is your next game? Because you're a manager, you own a clothing company, like you said, Punishment Athletics, you're doing pro wrestling, you got everything else going on. Like what is the one thing that you're going to do? Right now, fighting is your main focus. These other things are kind of additions to it. What's going to be that main focus once fighting's done?
Well, I've been doing acting classes 2 days a week now, in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's something I've never done before. I've done films before, and I just did them just off the crust. I just did it just kind of off the shoulder of, they told me here to read these lines and do them, and I did it. I never understood what I was reading. I never understood the art of acting. It's an art. You got to learn it. It's hard. It's not easy. But as I started getting learning into the acting classes, it's a personal acting coach I have, Eric McPherson out of Hollywood. He actually does a really well job of teaching me the right ways, teaching me the methods. And I've learned really, really quick. And it feels like when I first started wrestling. It feels like when I first started fighting. You get that love, man. You get that wow. You get that excitement of each time I go, it's like I'm learning something new. And I'm bringing something better to the table each time. It's like, it feels like a wrestling coach going, wow, you learn that single really quick. You learn that double really quick. You learn that triangle really quick. And learning these super different things, maybe this is the next step. Maybe this is something that I fall in love with and want to do after fighting. I know I'm not going to be able to fight for too many more years, but theatrical-wise, maybe I can put my heart and soul into it and fall in love with something again, into acting and, close a lot of people's mouths.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right about that. Now, how are you balancing all of this with being a manager? And obviously, it's tough, having Cristiano Santos as your client because she's controversial, you're controversial. It's tough sometimes coming and talking to these promoters, getting her ready, and doing press conferences for her. How do you balance that out with, hey, I have a fight coming up too?
Well, she's actually probably one of the easiest people to work with because she works. She puts her butt in the gym. She trains every day. I never have to tell her to get in the gym. She's doing it 7 days a week. She wants to be the best girl in the world, and she's showing it. She's going outside of the box of just MMA. She's going to doing Muay Thai kickboxing now, and she wants to do it. She goes, Tito, I want to compete in it. She wants to go to Thailand and do it. She was supposed to do it, and then the person she was supposed to fight actually ended up falling out, so she ended up fighting in Lions fights 3 weeks later, and she did very well. She fought a girl who was 10-0, ended up dropping her in the 4th round. And the girl was supposed to actually give her a match and never even touched Chris at all.
Yeah.
Chris is just a different type of species as a woman, man. She is an animal. When she trains, she trains with nothing but men. Pound for pound, she is the best woman in the world. She has no holes in her game at all. She's not afraid to stand up with anyone. She's not afraid to go to the ground. Her wrestling skills are really good. I mean, she is a very well-rounded woman. I mean, she's not a person that is just finishing people with just one move. She could finish the match in many different ways.
Well, she obviously, Ronda Rousey's at 135. Everyone's touting Ronda because of the show, and she has the marketing machine behind the UFC. Chris doesn't have that marketing machine. She doesn't have that power. Do you think UFC's going to start a weight class? Still don't see Chris getting all the way down to 35 to battle against Ronda. So do you see them coming up with a different weight class, 40 or 45s, to add in more females into the UFC ranks, and then maybe Chris gets in one of those weight classes? Or do you think the UFC is going to try to blackball Chris out entirely?
Well, I hope the personal stuff between me and Dana doesn't get into fighters' futures. That really takes away from, for people like Chris, who is one of the best in the world, an opportunity to showcase your skills on one of the biggest forums. And yes, UFC is one of the biggest forums to compete on, but just to have one weight class is kind of segregating the women's weight class. I think there's many other women in other weight classes to compete at different levels. 145 pounds. There's many women at 145 pounds that can fill those holes, that can put on great matches. Invicta has done it the last 3 shows that I've seen. There have been amazing fights and amazing weight classes. So I guess it's just a matter of time. And I hope it doesn't get too personal with Dana, where he blackballs Chris, because she is one of the best in the world. I mean, every fan wants to see the fight between her and Ronda. I mean, is it at 140? I mean, Chris told me, he goes, Tito, I don't care about weight classes. I mean, I don't care about the belt. The belt, it don't matter to me anymore. Ronda said some personal things about me, and I just want to punch her in her face. And it kind of just, it just shows what type of fighter she truly is. She's a fighter. She's not just a competitor. She's a fighter. She likes to fight. She goes, I love to fight. And that's why she does other things like Muay Thai.
Now, do you think your relationship between you and Dana will ever be repaired? I mean, he was your manager at one time, way back in the day, and he was a very close friend of yours, and it's come a long way since then. Do you think it can ever get back to you guys at least having a casually, halfway nice relationship, or is it always going to be this bitter and disdain?
I don't know. I truthfully couldn't tell you. I tried to be as nice as I possibly could for a year. And he gave me tickets to the fight. Lorenzo gave me tickets to the fight. But all of a sudden, he started talking about me and saying that I was broke and I'm irrelevant. And I never said a word about anything at all. And then I backlashed out and just said a few things. And then all of a sudden, it was just like an explosion. Everything went crazy. And we're both very emotional people. Emotions do take advantage of the best of us at times, and especially me, especially when I'm in training camp and I'm getting ready for a fight. And I come out of training and, I'm exhausted, and I read some online of someone talking shit about me, and all of a sudden Dana's saying stuff about me. And financially, I have no problems. My children have no problems. I got out of a horrible relationship, and now it's about my children, and that's what I'm working for. And for someone like Dana to say the things he's been saying about me, all he does is just talk, and I get sick of just the attacks. I mean, it's attacking my character. It's not attacking, what type of champion I was and what type of fighter I am. He attacks my character and nothing my character about I'm a stupid man and I'm stupid at this and that. My children hear this. My son Jacob was 11. He hears this, and for him to be disrespectful like that, I mean, I'm not saying anything to him personally like that, and it's horrible for him to cross those lines. And from this point out on, I stopped talking about it. I won't say another word about Dana. Everybody can see the truth about what type of person he is. And, like I said, I've been honest in my career. I worked hard for the UFC. I put my life on the line every time I come out and compete. I went through so many injuries, ACL replacement on left and right knee, L4-5, S1 fuse in my lower back, C6, C7 fuse in my neck, 4 and 5 disc replacement in my neck. I mean, I've gone through so many surgeries just to keep competing. I mean, I can't count the times that I've still competed and didn't pull out of a fight just so I didn't let the UFC down, and made them tons and tons, millions and millions of dollars, and still never got anything out of it besides what my purse was up front that I fought for. So it's just one of those things that I look at, and respect is due for guys like myself, for guys like Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock, Rampage, all of us fighters who step in the cage and we fight, and yourself, man. I mean, all of us that we've stepped in the cage and we fought, it's about the fighters. Fans don't tune in to watch UFC. Fans tune in to watch people like GSP, like Tito Ortiz, like Rampage, like all of us fighters who compete and put our lives on the line and literally try to kill each other. We punch each other in the face and blood, and it's, I guess you say, it's strongest man survives. It's just one of those things. We go in and we entertain for the fans. The fans are paying for us competitors who fight each other.
All right, let's talk about your fight coming up now with Quentin. Who's gonna be in your corner for this one?
Well, actually, it'll be Jason Perillo and Rafael Cordero.
Oh, Raphael's coming. Okay.
Yeah,
They're
I've been working with Rafael Cordero a lot, actually.
Raphael knows Quentin very well from a striking standpoint. It's very easy for him to break Quentin down. Raphael's an amazing mindset to breaking his opponent's fighters down is incredible. So, what do you think Quentin's going to try to do differently than he has in the past to you? His last 4 or 5 fights have been the same Quentin. He just always complains about the wrestlers trying to take him down, wants to stand and bang, and that's his only game. He really hasn't changed his game at all in his last 4 or 5 fights. Do you think he's going to try to do anything differently now that he's going to fight you, knowing for sure that if he hits you one time, you're taking him down? Do you think he's adapted his game at all?
Well, I think he has to hit me first. It goes back to his last 4 fights. Has he changed his camp? Has he brought in different people? Has he brought in different trainers to train him? I know he's down in Rosarito right now, Mexico, with the same people. Even if he has the same people, I know he's working a little jiu-jitsu, so he expects to be on his back. I'll make it exciting. I'm not gonna be a guy to sit there and hump his leg the whole time. I'm not. I don't know if I do take him down, I'm gonna be on top of him. I'm gonna devastate him elbow after elbow after elbow after elbow. My shape's great. I've been working really hard on my cardio. It's nice to be healthy after coming off of ACL replacement only 5 months ago. It'll be 6 months to date when I fight. So I'm excited to really put on a good show. I think the fans deserve it. And I just want to show everyone that I still have it, man. And I feel like I still have it. I'm in the gym. Jason says my timing's great. My reaction's fast. And, I just got to put the game plan that I know how to beat Rampage with.
How much longer do you think you'll be in it? You said you're not sure. You said you can't fight forever. But how much longer do you think you'll be in? Is it 5 more fights, 10 more fights? How much do you have left?
Wow, 10. That's a big number. Now, I signed for 4 fights.
Okay.
I think 4 fights would be good right now. My kids are getting older. My son Jacob, who's 11, he's like, Dad, it's hard to watch you fight because I don't like to see you get hit. And that really kind of bothered me a lot when he said that. And but now he's excited because he watches me train. He's like, Dad, you look like you're ready. You're gonna walk through Rampage. I want to come to the fight. And now that's a question to me. It's like now my kids want to come to the fights with me. It's crazy how fast time's coming around. I don't know. I put in 4 fights. Yeah. If my body can get through it, our body gets a little more brittle the older we get.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 16 years. I don't know. Maybe this acting thing does pan out, and I excel well in it, as I've been in the classes I've been doing. My coach, Aaron McPherson, he's been telling me, he's like, you're catching on faster than anybody I've ever coached before. You understand it. You have a lot of emotions, and you're able to find the characters that we've been going over. And it's just repetition, just going over it and really living, the super objective of each character that we're going over. And I dig it, man. I'm reading about it. It's like going back to school again. Feels like I'm going back to college, but this is a totally different level.
I totally get it. Well, Tito, thanks for coming on here with us. I saw your kids out there running around in their swim trunks. So I know it's time for swimming. I'll let you go.
Yes,
Thanks for coming on here.
Having 3 boys around a house full of boys, so it's cool. House full of testosterone, man. But it's awesome. Just trying to be a great dad. Father, fighter, businessman. I mean, what else can I do?
I don't know. It's tough, man. I know just trying to run your clothing line with Punishment Athletics is ridiculously hard, and then add everything else into it. I can't even imagine how you keep it all together.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I want to live this life to the fullest, If anybody tries to step on me, not let me step ahead, it's just people being jealous. But at the same time, I just try to do as much as I possibly can and live this life to its fullest and secure my children's future. That's what I want to do. I bring them to the gym, they come in and watch me train. I wake up at 6:30 every morning, get them ready for school, dress them, feed them, take them to school, drop them off, come home, take a 2-hour nap, go to the gym, train, go pick them up from school, bring them to the gym with me, train again, come back, get them ready for bed, shower, feed them, brush their teeth, put them to bed by 8. And thank God, as you guys can see the pre-core machine right behind me. I got to do my road work in my room now because I got to watch my kids. So, but I get my works, man. I get my work in, and full-time father, full-time fighter, full-time businessman. I'm just trying to live it to its fullest, man, because I just want to show everybody that you are capable of doing it alone. If you need to do it alone, it's possible. Anything's possible. Just set your mind to it and achieve that goal.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach bad boy. Good luck against Quentin Rampage. We'll talk to you soon, Tito.
Wow, man. Thank you much. I appreciate it, Frank. Everybody, check it out. Punishment.com, of course, on November 2nd. Tito Ortiz versus Rampage. I'm coming for your ass, Rampage.